Thank you, operator. Welcome, everyone, to our weekly press conference. We appreciate your participation. As always, the information that you get over to our immigrant communities is vital and certainly trusted, which is very important that they hear from those they trust in regard to resources and things we think they should follow in order to better protect themselves. Today, we have an excellent number of speakers that will review some of the things that continue to be crucial for our immigrant communities. You will hear speakers talk about COVID-19, best health practices. The pandemic is still very alive, very dangerous, and we want our communities to be very careful out there. You will also hear about an issue that is of huge concern to our communities, and this is Daca. What is the future of Daca based on the decision that we are anticipating from the United States Supreme Court? You will hear some things that dreamers can do irrespective of the outcome of that decision. And very importantly, we want to keep reminding ourselves that we must be counted on the 2020 census. It is our right. It is something that is crucial that we do, and we will share some information later. At this point, it's my honor to introduce our special guest and host, Supervisor Hilda Solis, who represents the 1st District of the LA County Board of Supervisors. Supervisor Solis makes sure that this press conference is made available because we want the community to know that the LA County cares, that we have resources, and that we value your partnership in getting this information out. Supervisor Solis, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, Rigo, and good afternoon to everyone. I want to thank everyone for joining us today for today's ethnic media briefing. And first of all, I want to pay special tribute to the Office of Immigrant Affairs and our Joint Information Center for their continued efforts to ensure our diverse county population is able to receive important information from their trusted messengers and our ethnic media partners. Over the last couple of years, we've seen thousands of our county residents take part in protests that are taking place across the United States. The mass protests were sparked by the tragic and preventable death of George Floyd in the city of Minneapolis at the hands of police. But these demonstrations are also the result of decades, if not centuries, of systemic racism our Black communities and communities of colors have tolerated. I stand with the peaceful protesters and I hear their pleas. As an elected representative on the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors, I pledge to continue working to do everything within my power to address racial inequality in our communities and to hold law enforcement accountable for use of excessive force. I do want to remind our residents that we're still in the middle of a public health crisis. COVID-19 is still a very real threat. Our health officer orders urge that we continue to practice social distancing and wear face coverings to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. I ask that our residents continue to protect themselves and others by following this guidance as much as possible, even as they assert their First Amendment rights. You'll hear more from Dr. Barbara Ferrer about best practices for keeping yourself and others healthy and safe when joining a protest. New data shows us that Black, Latino, and Pacific Islander residents in Los Angeles County are twice as likely to have died from COVID-19. This, in part, is due to the lack of health resources in our communities of color. And as we talk about racial inequality and consider COVID-19's disparate impact on communities of color, it's important that we remind everyone about the 2020 census. The census is conducted every 10 years, and it's used to distribute more than $800 billion in federal funds to communities. When you respond to the census, you're helping to ensure that the County of Los Angeles gets more federal funding for health care, for education, for for food assistance and housing and other critical services and programs for all of our county residents. The self-response rate for the state of California as of June 7th this year was 61.9%, which is slightly above the national response rate of 60.7%. However, the response rate for Los Angeles County is 57.2, which means we still have a lot of work to do. The deadline to respond to the 2020 census has been extended to October 31st, 2020, but please don't procrastinate. Back in March, your household should have received a mailed invitation to complete the census, but you can also respond by visiting 2020census.gov or by calling the following number, 844-330-2020. Please be counted so that we can offer more services to our county residents. You'll hear more regarding the 2020 census from our Office of Immigrant Affairs. And finally, I want to address the pending Supreme Court decision that will determine the fate of 700,000 Daca recipients, or Dreamers as they are known, who were brought to the United States as children. Dreamers have been waiting anxiously to see whether the Supreme Court will uphold the administration's 2017 decision to end the Daca program or allow Daca recipients to remain in the United States. The county Dreamers, as you know, call this their home. According to the Center for American Progress, more than 200,000 Daca recipients nationwide have been serving as essential workers in this pandemic, and at least 1,700 Dreamers are working directly in the healthcare industry or sector. As we fight racial disparities, we must also continue to fight anti-immigrant policies that the federal administration has weighed in for the last 4-year-long attack on our immigrant communities. You'll hear more from Dr. Francisco Rodriguez, Chancellor of Los Angeles Community College District, about the potential impacts on Daca students. Los Angeles County, as you know, will continue to support our Dreamers. And yesterday, the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors passed by motion to initiate a robust community outreach and engagement effort to reach our highly impacted communities. The county will work with community-based organizations and our ethnic media partners to emphasize the availability and importance of COVID-19 testing and to disseminate important information about critical pandemic relief efforts. I want to thank you again for joining us today and for being a critical component in reaching our diverse communities. And as always, Los Angeles County residents can call 211 for more information. And please continue to practice social distancing and wear a face covering when you're out in public to keep yourself and others healthy and safe. And with that, I'd like to transition into Spanish. Buenas tardes y gracias por acompañarnos hoy día. Yo soy Hilda Solis de la Junta de Supervisores del Condado de Los Ángeles. Yo estoy muy orgullosa de que hay un movimiento de personas quienes representan diferentes culturas y razas quienes están protestando por una segunda semana consecutiva. Este movimiento por la justicia en nombre de George Floyd y de Breonna Taylor y otros está aquí para quedarse. La gente, especialmente los jóvenes, en las calles protestando, tienen tanta energía y están comprometidos a la justicia. Todos nosotros podemos escuchar sus voces en este momento crítico. El condado de Los Ángeles está del lado de los manifestantes pacíficos que marchan contra la violencia de la policía y contra las injusticias que enfrentan cada día las comunidades africanoamericanos y latinos. Como tal, la Junta de Supervisoras ayer aprobó varias de mis mociones para comenzar a eliminar algunas de estas injusticias. Una de mis mociones instruyó los departamentos a cambiar nuestras respuestas a COVID-19 para poder mejorar, ayudar a nuestras comunidades más impactadas. A pesar de la idea de que COVID-19 afecta a todos igual, la verdad es que COVID-19 afecta más a la gente vulnerable. Estamos viendo que COVID-19 afecta más a nuestras comunidades africanoamericanos, latinas, indígenas y de color. Vemos que personas de bajos recursos Quienes no tienen seguro médico son más afectados también. Las comunidades con más dinero, con más acceso a salud médico, no sufran igual. Y por lo tanto, deberíamos de parar esta injusticia y dar prioridad a los barrios más impactados por ofreciéndoles más acceso a las pruebas, especialmente de COVID-19, ofreciéndole también atención al salud médico y también servicios de apoyo. La Junta de Supervisores también votó avisar a nuestros departamentos que deben iniciar un plan para reducir la población de nuestros jóvenes y adultos encarcelados en el condado de Los Ángeles. Los jóvenes y personas que sufran de traumas y enfermedades mentales deben de recibir atención y no estar en la cárcel. Esto también es un asunto de justicia racial. Me siento orgulloso que el modelo de justicia penal de nuestro condado es de el cuidado primero y el cárcel al fin, y que hemos adoptado un enfoque alternativo al encarcelamiento, pero este momento requiere más atención. Y de eso se trata las protestas. Este compromiso cívico que vemos en las calles nos hace pensar a una forma más creativa. Les quiero recordar cuando salgan a protestar que todos deben de usar tapabocas y que mantengan a menos de 6 pies de los demás. Puede ser difícil, pero para unos pies de distancia es mejor que nada. Y si han estado en contacto con personas fuera de su casa sin tapabocas por más de 15 minutos, por favor, consideren hacerse una prueba de COVID-19. Para apoyar a las comunidades de color, las áreas de bajos recursos, quiero expresar mi gratitud a las clínicas de salud calificadas a nivel federal que se llaman FQHCs. Estas clínicas de salud comunitaria son nuestros héroes. Estas clínicas apoyan a los residentes del condado de Los Ángeles cada día, ofreciéndoles atención médica, incluyendo transporte y educación. El condado sigue comprometido apoyando a estas clínicas de salud, incluyendo ofreciéndoles equipo de protección personal para protegerlos del virus. Y para las clínicas que han ofrecido pruebas de COVID-19 a las comunidades, el condado les va a dar unas más mascarillas para la cara y otras protecciones en cuanto los recibimos del gobierno del estado y también federal. Antes de la crisis de COVID-19, estas clínicas de salud apoyarán a muchas de bajos recursos y están ahí hoy día también. Quiero agradecer a la Asociación de Clínicas Comunitarias del Condado de Los Ángeles por su trabajo, su esfuerzo y también el Departamento de Servicios de Salud por su apoyo también de estas clínicas. Y ahora gustaría presentarle a Jacqueline Valenzuela, representando el Departamento de Salud Pública. La doctora Barbara Ferrer. Gracias.
Thank you, Supervisor Solis. I'm honored to be part of this very important conversation today. First, I want to share my admiration and support for everyone across our community who is standing up peacefully to fight racism and police brutality. You're courageously part of a movement that we hope is leading us down a road of lasting change, where Black and brown residents across the entire country no longer experience violence and murder at the hands of members of law enforcement. If you're out and about in situations where there are crowds of people, including at protests, please take steps to protect yourself and other people from possibly spreading or contracting COVID-19. Wear a cloth face covering whenever you're around other people, and as much as possible, keep physical distance of at least 6 feet from everyone else. If you spent time in large gatherings and you think it's possible that you've been exposed to COVID-19 because you were not able to keep physical distance and not everyone near you was wearing a cloth face covering, self-quarantine for 14 days, and be particularly careful to protect people in your household who are at greater risk for serious illness should they become infected. If you've been exposed to someone in these gatherings that is positive for COVID-19, it is appropriate to get tested, but it's important to remember that a negative test result does not mean you will not become infected over the next 14 days. So even if you tested negative, it's still important to self-quarantine for the full 14 days from your exposure. And then if you start to develop symptoms, you can contact your provider, and you may need to get an additional test. If you're positive with the second test, you'll need to isolate for an additional 10 days. If you need a provider, please call 211, and they will give you information on providers in your community. You can also find the locations of testing sites across the county and make an appointment at covid19.lacounty.gov/testing. I'm grateful to live in a community where residents make their voices heard to bring an end to racism and violence. So many of us are looking out for one another throughout these times, and part of showing care and respect for one another is also to continue to keep each other as safe as possible from becoming infected with COVID-19. Gracias a la supervisora Solis. Hoy me siento honrado de ser parte de una conversación tan importante. Primero, quiero compartir mi admiración y apoyo para todos los miembros de nuestra comunidad que luchan contra el racismo y la brutalidad policial. Ustedes son parte de un movimiento que esperamos nos lleve por un camino de cambio duradero, donde nuestras comunidades ya no experimentan violencia a manos de la policía. Si pasas tiempo en grandes grupos de personas, como en protestas, tome medidas para protegerse y proteger a otras personas de COVID-19. Use una cubierta de tela para la cara cuando estás cerca de otras personas. Y cuando puedas, mantenga una distancia física de al menos de 6 pies de los demás. Si ha pasado tiempo en grupos grandes y piensas que pudo ser expuesto a COVID-19 porque no pudo mantener la distancia física y no todos usaban un cubierto de tela para la cara, manténganse cuarentena por 14 días y tenga cuidado de proteger a las personas que corren un mayor riesgo de enfermarse gravemente. Si ha estado expuesto a alguien que en estas reuniones que es positivo para COVID-19, es apropiado hacerse la prueba, pero es importante recordar que un resultado negativo no significa que no se infecte durante las próximas 14 días. Incluso si su resultado es negativo, sigue siendo importante ponerse en cuarentena durante 14 días. Y si comienzas a desarrollar síntomas, llame a su médico para hacerse la prueba. Si es positiva, deberá estar en cuarentena para 10 días adicionales. Si necesitas un doctor, llames al 211 y le darán información sobre médicos en su comunidad. También puedes encontrar los sitios de pruebas en todo el condado y hacer una cita en covid19.lacounty.gov/testing. Estoy agradecida de vivir en una comunidad donde los residentes hacen oír su voz para poner fin al racismo y a la violencia. Sigamos mostrando cuidado y respeto a todos al mantenernos lo más seguros posibles contra COVID-19 y contra las injusticias. Muchas gracias.
Once again, my name is Rigo Reyes. I'm the Executive Director of the Office of Immigrant Affairs in the Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. I'm going to take a couple of minutes now to again remind us how important it is to be counted in the 2020 census. The County of Los Angeles is the most populous county in the country, with over 10 million people making the county our home. And if those 10 million people, 1 in 3, or 3.5 million, are immigrants born in a different country. Immigrants come to the LA County to make their lives and their families a better home. And for that, they need resources that we all need, like schools, hospitals, roads, things to support us reach that dream that we came for. That dream cannot be made possible if we don't count ourselves in the 2020 census. Why? Because it determines the money that is allocated from the federal government to provide these services. So I want to remind you, I want to ask you from the bottom of my heart to please count everyone. It is easy, it's safe, and it's fast. It takes less than 10 minutes to do it. You can do it if you received the form. You can complete it, send it back. You can do it by phone. You can do it online, and it is safe. The information that you send in is protected by federal law, and it may not be shared to other agencies. So everyone should be counted. The kids in your household, your friends, your roommates, irrespective of our immigration status, we need to be counted. It's our right. It's something that we should do. And now I'll say a few words in Spanish about the census. Muchas gracias por escucharnos. Quiero recalcar lo importante que es el censo, lo importante que es que todos contemos. El condado de Los Ángeles es el hogar de más de 10 millones de habitantes. Y de esos 10 millones, un tercio, 3,5 millones, somos inmigrantes nacidos en otro país. Venimos aquí de todo el mundo con un sueño de hacer una vida mejor para nosotros y para nuestras familias. Ese sueño no puede ser logrado si no existen los fondos para los hospitales, para las escuelas, para las carreteras, cosas que son esenciales para progresar. Y al contarnos en el censo, estamos contribuyendo a que el gobierno federal aporte esos fondos para esos servicios tan importantes. Contarnos es muy fácil, es seguro y debemos hacerlo. Todos debemos contarnos, los niños, las personas que viven en nuestra casa, nuestros amigos, nuestros compañeros de vivienda. Sin importar el estatus migratorio, tenemos el derecho y tenemos la obligación de contarnos. Y es seguro, la información que pongamos en el censo no debe ser compartida con ninguna otra agencia por medio del Buró del Censo. Es prohibido por ley federal. Y como último, es muy fácil y muy rápido. Podemos hacerlo por teléfono, podemos hacerlo por el internet y podemos hacerlo por medio del formulario que nos enviaron y se puede hacer en cualquier idioma. Así es que les pedimos que por favor se cuenten. Gracias.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Francisco Rodriguez. I'm the Chancellor of the Los Angeles Community College District. Muy buenas tardes to everyone. First, let me thank Supervisor Hilda Solis for once again inviting the Los Angeles Community College District to share some important news about the community, about what is happening with our students, our undocumented students in Dhaka in particular. I welcome all of you on behalf of Board President Andrew Hoffman, Vice President Steve Eres, Vice President Gabriel Buelna, the Board of Trustees, our 9 college presidents, over 200,000 students that enroll at our 9 colleges, our faculty, and our staff. It's an honor to be with you. Let me share just a couple of notes initially about what is occurring with our undocumented students and as we await the important decision from our Supreme Court. I want to state very clearly and unequivocally that our undocumented and DACA student population is an integral and a valued part of our LACCD family. These extraordinary and talented students have sacrificed hard work and intentionality to better themselves, their families, their communities, and indeed this country. Their courage is simply inspiring. Since 2012, when DACA was enacted under President Obama, our district has made firm and unwavering commitments to undocumented students. As educators, we have invested in their success, and in return, our undocumented students have made positive, lasting contributions to our classrooms and to our communities. Today, as a result, we have 9 Dream Resource Centers throughout our district providing key services, including mental health, financial aid, legal support, and amongst the strongest referral network with our community partners for assistance in the legal side and in mental health. We also have a standing DACA and immigration task force throughout our district in which we address policies, concerns, programs, and additional supports for our students. It's been a program that we've had for several years now, and we will continue to invest in that work. Please, if you're interested, look to our website, www.laccd.edu, and on the front page, there's a button called Immigration Resources for all of our key services that are free to the community. Please look us up. My brief message to our undocumented and DACA students today as we await this decision is that you are not alone. No están solos. You are not alone, and if you are a student who is currently enrolled at one of our 9 colleges, we encourage you to stay enrolled. Our summer classes begin next Monday on June the 15th, and our fall semester will begin on August the 31st. While the pandemic has extinguished a lot of hope and aspiration, it has remained for us a hallmark to keep our institutions open, to keep our institutions at a distance, and to provide our education at a distance. So if you are a student enrolled with us, stay enrolled. If you are a student looking to pursue higher education in the future, please, our doors, our digital doors right now, remain completely open. We have room for you. And if you enroll full-time, first time to our colleges, we will assist you by guaranteeing priority enrollment and covering the cost of 2 years of tuition-free education through our Los Angeles College Promise program. This is for students, all students, irrespective of your immigration status. If you are enrolled with us, thank you for entrusting your educational life to us. We appreciate your trust and your confidence. It is indeed an honor to serve you and your families. Aquí están en confianza. We commit to keep our doors open for all of our students seeking an education, particularly for those who have been the most vulnerable and poorest in our communities. We will continue to advocate fearlessly and unapologetically for the rights of all students, irrespective of their immigration status. And our district will continue to take a very strong, firm leadership role to defend, protect, and yes, fight for our undocumented and DACA students. And we will do everything that we can to protect and safeguard the integrity of each of our students. So let me be clear about our support to our undocumented students in this time that is indeed certainly nerve-shattering and certainly unsettling. Stay enrolled at our LAC City College. Come back if you left our institutions for whatever fear, and for new students, you are welcome here. Again, aquí están en confianza. Let me say a few words in Spanish, por favor. Unas palabras en español. Nuestra población estudiantil indocumentada es un miembro integral y valorada en nuestra familia del Distrito Colegial de los colegios comunitarios de Los Ángeles. Soy Francisco Rodríguez y soy el canciller del distrito. Estos estudiantes son extraordinarios y talentosos y han sacrificado para mejorarse a sí mismos, a sus familias y a nuestra comunidad y al mismo tiempo a nuestro país. A lo largo de mis años como educador he enseñado y estudiado junto a muchos estudiantes indocumentados que se esfuerzan por lograr sus sueños educativos. Su coraje es inspirador. Hoy tenemos centros de recursos, 9 centros, en nuestros planteles de ensueño en todo el distrito, proporcionado servicios clave, incluyendo ayuda financiera, recursos y una fuerte red de referidos con nuestros socios comunitarios. Vea nuestro sitio web en laccd.edu bajo recursos de inmigración para una lista completa de los servicios que son completamente gratis y para ustedes, nuestra comunidad. Como canciller, este asunto para mí es muy personal. Como hijo orgulloso de obreros inmigrantes de la fábrica del país de México, del estado de Jalisco, del bonito municipio de Zacualco de Torres. De ahí pertenezco yo. Me comprometo a mantener las puertas de los colegios LACCD para todos los estudiantes que buscan una educación y particularmente para los más vulnerables y los más pobres en nuestra comunidad. Continuaremos abogando sin temor y sin disculpas para los derechos de todos los estudiantes, no importa su estado migratorio. Nuestro distrito de 9 colegios seguirá teniendo un papel de liderazgo, ya que es defender, proteger y luchar por los estudiantes indocumentados y DACA. Y haré todo lo posible para proteger y salvaguardar la integridad de nuestros estudiantes. Eso es mi compromiso como canciller de ese distrito. Aquí en nuestros colegios están bienvenidos y queremos garantizar para los estudiantes que vienen a inscribirse por primera vez en tiempo completo, garantizamos su registración, su matriculación, un asiento en nuestros salones digitales ahorita y los primeros 2 años completamente gratis. Por favor, viene con nosotros, aquí están en confianza. Tienes nuestro apoyo, respeto y admiración. Estamos comprometidos y a estar a tu lado mientras tienes éxito y alcanzar tus metas en LACCD. Y aquí estamos juntos con ustedes esperando la decisión de la Corte Suprema y aquí estamos juntos para apoyarte. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Dan Sharp, who is the Chief of the Los Angeles County Office of Immigrant Affairs. Dan?
Thank you so much, Dr. Rodriguez, for the introduction and for your remarks. Again, Daniel Sharp, Chief of the LA County Office of Immigrant Affairs. I want to say a few things today about the moment we find ourselves in as we await a decision from the Supreme Court on the fate of the DACA program. We know that this is an anxiety-producing moment for the 85,000 or so DACA holders for whom the greater LA area is home. And I do want to point out that even in the worst case scenario, the vast majority of DACA holders are not in any imminent risk of deportation, even if the Supreme Court allows this administration to end the program. There is a small percentage of DACA holders who have a final order of deportation from before they obtained DACA. This may have happened when they came into the country with their parents. This may have happened because a parent filed an application on their behalf before they got DACA that was denied and referred to an immigration judge. People in that situation really need to get legal advice, and we encourage them to do that now. And fortunately, there are resources, there are legal resources available in Los Angeles free of charge for not only the individuals that may be concerned about a deportation order, but for other DACA beneficiaries who may be considering doing one final renewal before we have a Supreme Court decision, or getting advice about whether they have other options to adjust their status in the event that the DACA program may go away, or even if it doesn't. And so individuals can call the Office of Immigrant Affairs at 1-800-593-8222 to get connected to one of the free immigration legal service providers. And some of those providers still have some funding to assist with filing fee assistance for those that are renewing their status or trying to renew their status one final time before we have a Supreme Court decision. But these are, no doubt, challenging times. And so tomorrow, the Office of Immigrant Affairs will be hosting a summit called Protect the Dream. And so we're going to, in addition to addressing the possible outcomes at the Supreme Court, what a decision may mean, what the impact on the community may be, we're going to look at the topic of entrepreneurialism and how folks can make do and start their own business and navigate the world with or without a work permit. We know that a lot of DACA holders have been impacted by the COVID-19 crisis even before we have a Supreme Court decision. So we're going to talk about that important issue of entrepreneurialism. We're going to talk about educational resources, both traditional education programs, post-high school programs, as well as trade programs. And then, of course, we're going to look at the path forward, the advocacy needed to get to the result that DACA holders need. And we know that it's a temporary, DACA is a program without a path to legal permanent residence. And the number of individuals who came here as youth for whom this country is their only home is much larger than the 700,000 or so folks who currently have DACA. So we're going to talk about the path forward through legislative advocacy as well in tomorrow's program. So we really encourage everyone. It's at 10 a.m. tomorrow. It's a virtual summit. You can go to the Los Angeles County Office of Immigrant Affairs Facebook page to register. That's facebook.com/LAC4Immigrants. Or just Google Facebook, Los Angeles County Office of Immigrant Affairs. And please register and join us for what should be a very lively and interesting conversation. Ahora voy a repetir en español unos comentarios. Primero, sabemos que este momento para los beneficiarios de DACA es un momento que provoca estrés y ansiedad. No solo estamos enfrentando todavía esta pandemia que ha afectado a tantos hogares, tantos trabajadores, sino que también estamos en la espera de un fallo de la Corte Suprema sobre el programa de DACA. En las siguientes semanas, lo más tardar probablemente a principios de julio, vamos a tener ese fallo. Queremos aclarar que en el peor escenario, la inmensa mayoría de beneficiarios de DACA no están en peligro de una deportación pronto. La inmensa mayoría de gente con DACA tiene derecho de un proceso en corte, incluso en el peor caso que la administración quisiera iniciar semejante proceso contra un beneficiario de DACA. Hay un porcentaje muy pequeño de beneficiarios de DACA que tienen una orden de deportación. Tienen eso quizás cuando cruzaron la frontera con la familia o cuando sus padres pidieron algún beneficio migratorio que no fue exitoso y terminaron en un proceso con un juez de inmigración. Esas personas deben buscar asesoría legal migratoria ya, no deben esperar el fallo. Afortunadamente, hay recursos legales aquí en Los Ángeles. Hay varias organizaciones comunitarias que cuentan con fondos para brindar esa asesoría y servicios legales a las personas sin costo. La gente puede llamar a la Oficina de Asuntos del Migrante al 800-593-8222. 800-593-8222 para que les conectemos a un proveedor de estos servicios sin costo. También para la gente que quiere renovar su permiso de trabajo, quizás una vez más antes de este fallo de la Corte Suprema, Hay algunas organizaciones que todavía cuentan con fondos para ayudar con el costo del trámite de la renovación de DACA. Aparte de eso, sabemos que estamos viviendo un momento difícil. Entonces, mañana vamos a tener un foro virtual que estamos llamando Protect the Dream, Proteja el Sueño. Y a las 10 de la mañana la gente puede inscribirse yendo a la página de Facebook de la Oficina de Asuntos del Migrante del Condado de Los Ángeles. Vamos a hablar del tema de ser emprendedor, de abrir un negocio propio, de ser contratista independiente, de cómo navegar ese mundo con o sin un permiso de trabajo y ver opciones de hacer dinero y proveer para uno mismo y su familia. También vamos a estudiar las opciones de recursos educativos, tanto para la gente que quiere seguir en un programa tradicional, un bachillerato, una maestría, como otros programas que brindan apoyo de habilidades en diferentes áreas de trabajo. Entonces, también vamos a enfrentar el tema del camino por delante a través de acción legislativa, que es lo que hace falta para llegar a la solución que la gente con DACA y tanta otra gente en la misma situación que vino como niños a este país, que no conoce otro país, pero que no está incluido ahora en el programa de DACA, necesite. Todo eso mañana, Protect the Dream, 10 de la mañana, y vayan a la página de Facebook de la Oficina de Asuntos del Migrante del Condado de Los Ángeles para inscribirse. Muchas gracias y con eso concluimos. Tawanda, we are ready for questions, so please go ahead. Thank you.
I'd be glad to, sir. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to ask a question, please press 1, then 0. An operator will gather your name and further assist you. If you're using a speakerphone, we ask that you please pick up the handset before pressing the numbers. Once again, if you'd like to ask a question, please press 1, then 0 at this time.
Thank you. As we get ready for the questions, I just want to again thank Supervisor Solis, thank the entire Board of Supervisors, every one of the speakers for the outstanding information they provided, as well as the leadership of the County of Los Angeles for all the work they do to serve, to uplift the well-being of immigrants and their families. Again, if you want to ask a question, please press 0. Press 1, then 0. And if you could state your name, the agency you represent, and the question specifically so that we can get you the best answer. Operator, do we have any questions queued?
Yes, sir, we do. We'll go to the line of Perusatam Sakal with Nepal24hours.com. Your line is open.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon. Thank you for providing me time. I am Purushottam Dakal, Chief Editor, Nepal24hours.com and usimmigration.com. First of all, I would like to condemn and I'm really disappointed. Likewise, this conference meeting, I'm 5 times concerning and questioning. Every time authority responds me, listen me, but no one answering me after the question. First of all, I would like to share an concern to LA County Authority and Immigration Authority from LA County. Around 200 students and 65 undocumented families rescued from after COVID-19 panic time through our media, and we are trying to provide the food to establish the small food bank and also providing them sanitizer, mask, and medical counseling too. After that, they asking us and begging us to pay the rent because federal grant and any grant not to cover their request because they are student only and they are undocumented family. Second thing, also we mobilized around 1,000 families through under our media, usimmigrationupdate.com, and we are trying to establish some relief fund and try to distribute 200 each family for the rent. After that, every time I'm calling over there and we update every LA County, every update about immigrant and undocumented benefit from the LA County, California government and federal government. You have to check our media. Every 24 hours we update and also interact with community and also providing medical counseling through Zoom and other conference call. Also distribute sanitizer mask around 2,000 families. Every time I'm calling and concerning with the LA County Authority and LA County Immigration Officer too, in like this types of conference call, and every time they say, you guys doing great job, it's a great. But after that, no one responds me. Every time authority says, after meeting, we'll contact you, you guys doing great job. One time visit LA County, some authority to check out program, and they encourage us, and they encourage and wording is really nice, but no one responds to us. Every time we update news, every time around 200 students, 65 undocumented family, around 2,000 household from the Nepali
Thank you.
community from
Yeah,
India, Nepal.
Thank you very
Please,
much
please,
for, yeah.
Please.
Let me, the email that I sent, the invitation that we sent out for your participation has my direct cell phone number. If you could please give me a call, because I think this is a very important thing that you're bringing up, that we need to have a conversation as to how we can add a value to the incredible service you're providing to the community. So please call me. My email is there too, my direct email, my phone number, our website. Just let me know how we can have a conversation to work together. So definitely appreciate you bringing this up, and would love to work with you. Thank you. Do we have any more questions, operator?
We have no one else in queue at this time, sir.
Thank you. So at this time, we would like to conclude this press conference. Thank you again, everyone. Until next week.